Hello and welcome back to Chicanic. I want to thank everybody so much for watching and liking the videos and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe below and hopefully I can save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. What we have here today is a PB250 Echo Handheld Blower, and the biggest problem I see out of these is that they lose their fire. And today we're going to show you how you can replace the coil all by yourself and how easy it is. Now, one of the best things about Echo products is they come with a 5-year homeowner warranty. That means if you do lose your fire in the first 5 years, you take it to your local service dealer and they'll replace your coil for free. If it happens after the 5 years, you have a lifetime warranty on the coil. So you still don't have to pay for the coil, but you will have to pay for labor. Now, the biggest problem I see though is people buy these at the big box stores and they do not register them. If you don't register it, you need to find a proof of purchase showing when you bought the machine. If you can't find that, you're going to have to replace it yourself. You could take it to your service dealer and have them fix it for you, but after you pay for the coil and labor, that's 2/3 the price of a new blower. What you'll need for this project is a rope, a business card or thick piece of paper, a spark plug tool, a T27. I will be using my impact with a T27 attachment to speed things up, and your coil is part number A4110000502. First, you're going to want to remove the spark plug. Next, we're going to remove the 7 bolts off the impeller side. Now we can remove this side. Next, you'll remove your tube. Pay attention to which way this clasp goes in. You might want to take a picture. Next, we're going to remove the 6 bolts from the rewind side. One you might not see is this one down here. Don't forget to get that one out. Now you can remove this side. We're going to remove the throttle lever. Now, we have to get the impeller off, but to do that, we're going to have to stop the piston. To stop your piston, you'll use a piece of rope and stick it down into the cylinder. When removing your impeller, it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, so you'll turn it to the left till it stops. Now we can remove the impeller. Once you remove the impeller, you'll have 4 more bolts you'll need to remove. Once you've removed those 4 bolts, you can release this side. It is still attached to the kill wires right here. So you'll want to pull this out and take your kill wire off your coil. Now we're to the coil. To remove the coil, you'll pull this part out and you'll remove these 2 bolts holding it to the engine block. Now you've got your coil off. All right. Alright, so now you're ready to put on your new coil. Now, I had an old coil off a burned up unit that still had good fire, and that's what I'm using today. When you get your new coil, it won't come with a boot attached. You'll have to take the boot off your old coil and put it on your new one. I'm going to make a separate video on how to replace the boot on your ignition module. Take your 2 screws and start putting your coil back on. Now before you tighten your coil down, you'll want to grab your business card or thick piece of paper and stick it in between the coil and the flywheel. Remove the rope so you can spin the flywheel and turn it to where the magnets line up with the coil, and it'll suction cup to the flywheel. Then you're able to tighten it down. You know you've got your clearance. Now we're going to reattach the kill wire to the new coil. And you've got your new coil on. Next, we're going to reattach the blower housing cover back to the machine. Now when you had it apart, your kill wires might have come out of their place. You'll want to make sure that they're tucked into their channels before you put your side cover back on. Next, we're going to reattach our throttle trigger and throttle lever. On the carburetor, there is a throttle cable with a ball at the end of it. You'll need to grab the ball with the end of your throttle lever and bring it back to where it looks like this. Once you've put your throttle trigger back in its place, you can attach the throttle lever. Make sure that your coil is tucked into this slot right here, and we're going to put our side cover back on. Now the coil has to go up into this little slot right here whenever you put it back in. So once you have the side cover back in place, you're going to reattach the 6 screws that go inside. Now we're going to put the impeller back on the machine. Once again, you're going to want to take your pull rope and stick it down into the cylinder to stop the piston. Now we can tighten down the fan. And remove the rope. Next, we're going to put the shroud back on the impeller side. When you go to do this, you will have to replace that little bracket that was inside that holds your tube in. When you go to put it in, the short side goes up. This long side goes towards the bottom. Just like so. Now we're going to put in our 7 screws. Last, we're going to put our spark plug back in. And reattach the spark plug boot. Now you can reattach your tube Just slide it right back in and it'll lock into place. All right, so we're done. We've completely torn apart this PB250 Echo blower, replaced the coil and put it all back together, and now we're gonna see if it will fire up. All right, we're gonna prime it. Put it on choke. Make sure it's in the right position. Give it a pull. We have fire. Didn't even need a second pull.